Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Run Facebook as a podcast. As you know, I'm in Boddington. So today I want to discuss basically a little setup check that you guys need to do. Okay. And this is to do with people using your pixel, other companies, spammers, the people we don't want to associate ourselves with, using your pixel to help them generate traffic to their own spammy websites. And they won't just be picking yours out of, oh, there's a company I want to take. They'll just be taking lots of different ones and they'll be adding them all to their own website so they can start bringing in traffic that they know is real people out there because they've been on your website. So how does this happen? Well, let me explain. So this is going to be a bit of, I'm going to talk slowly on this. This is going to be a bit of a follow these actions kind of podcast so that we can sort it out. Well, so you can sort it out for yourself. It's not hard. I just want to explain what happens. So the first thing that I hope you guys have done is set up a Facebook pixel, obviously, to run your ads. But second to that, the pixel helper, which is the Chrome extension. Okay, this is going to be where you're able to see when on your website if you've got a pixel. Okay, so if I just go on to mine, so you would basically, to start off, let's assume you haven't got it. I need you to run your ads through Chrome. I do have some clients of mine that I'd have in my consultancy who still run out of Safari. And I'm like, you can't see if your website's performing properly from a Facebook point of view if you don't have the pixel helper in place. So start using Chrome, go into your Chrome extensions, type in Facebook pixel helper. It will come up, and then add it to your list so it's on your desktop. So basically what happens then, when you go to your own website, you will see a pop-up. Well, not a pop-up, you'll just see that jump up on the screen. So I'm just loading my website now, and then we'll just see there Metapixel has changed, sorry. It's Metapixel helper, and then you'll see a drop down with your pixel ID. Now this is the pixel ID that's in your events manager that's associated to your business manager and your company, and you or a developer has put that on the website for you. But there's a click to copy, which is in this Metapixel helper. And this is what these spammers would be using to actually take your pixel. So I can copy that. I've copied it to my clipboard. And now what I can do, if I was a spammer or a dodgy website, I could put that pixel onto my website along with the other 30 or 100 that I've got on there. And what their own Facebook ads manager will be doing is now targeting everyone that's been onto your website, or retarget, they're retargeting them. So they're saying, right, let's take all these 100 websites. They might have something to do with this. Let's say you're in clothing. Yeah. So, and they're a bit of a dodgy clothing company. So, and what might be by that is probably not making dodgy clothes. They're probably not making any clothes at all. They're getting people to go onto their website, see all these awesome brands and buy those brands, yet you never receive your order confirmation or whatever. And they take your money. I don't have to explain that world to you. So they'll use the information from your website to put onto their own. And it means that they can do some ads driving to those pixels. Okay. So it's just a bit dodgy. Okay. So that's how it works. What I need you to do is go into your business manager and go from there. You'll find when you click those little three dots. So the most common place you'll always be in business manager is top left-hand side. You've got business home, which is a picture of a house. And underneath that, you've got all tools, which is 3 horizontal lines. You click on those 3 horizontal lines and you'll get events manager. Events manager is where you would have set up your pixel. Okay. So you click on events manager, and in here, it will have your pixel, usually on the left-hand side, and in blue writing, it will have the name of your pixel. You've probably called it your company name pixel. So click on there. Now this opens up the area, and you'll see in the middle of the screen, a bit of a graph, all activity. So this is a graph saying, the activity that's been on your website. And below there, you'll see page views, view content, add to carts if you're e-commerce, etc. And I'm hoping that you understand this page and you've been here more. But if you look on the side, now we're going to the right next to the graph, you'll see pixel, and then you'll see websites. And my one for this particular client says 10 websites. And that's where we need to think, okay, well, they've only got one. So why is there 10? So if we click on 9 more, it says domain, it's got the main company website, and that's total events 95,000. That's legit. Then underneath that, they've got shop.app, 250, and then a Shopify one. Now the Shopify one and the shop.app, they'll be okay. That's just where we're not using the shopify.com to drive traffic or whatever. So that says 59. So that's fine. Shop.app will be their online, like Instagram, Facebook. They've only had 250 events there, so no one's really using their online, their in-app shop. But the rest of them all underneath there are all slightly dodgy. So these are all like gobbledygook and just weird websites. And I've seen some weird websites before in these. Usually every single time I go onto client's account and look at these, there's some weird stuff going on. So we close out. So we know it's happening. So how do we fix this? Well, we need to get an allow list. And in that allow list, we essentially want our domain name. So from this same section, we'll see underneath our pixel name, we see overview, test events, diagnostics, history, and settings. And we want to click on the settings button. When we click on that settings button, it's going to bring up a page which has got a lot of information and a lot of stuff that you're probably going to think, I don't know what any of this is. I want you at this stage to ignore all that. So don't worry about it. Now, depending on what events manager you're using, depending on what updates, some look slightly different, but basically the bottom area, the last thing you come to is traffic permissions. And in traffic permissions, it says, well, mine says on this particular version, use a block list or an allow list to control if domains are allowed to send Facebook events through your pixel. We suggest using an allow list because it helps ensure that your pixel isn't used to send events through domains that you haven't authorized. And I completely agree. Now, this one's already set up, but you will have a button underneath saying create allow list. Now in there, go to create and put in your domain name. Okay, so what I mean by that is where your website is being hosted. Okay, so www.letsrunmarketing.com, which is my agency. Put that in there, and then if you're running anything else, if you're running any subdomains, that will usually get picked up with it. But if you might be running multiple websites and you actually want to just protect all those websites, put them in there and then press save. Now, when it says it used to have a block list meant that you had to put in, you would have to come into Events Manager, see all those dodgy websites and keep adding them to a block list, which got a bit laborious. So what Facebook has now done, which is even better, is creating an allow list. That's the important one. That's the one to focus on. Allow list basically says it's just me, letsrunmarketing.com. Anything else is dubious and I don't want any activity with it. Save. It means that anything else that tries to get in to copy your pixel, Facebook will say, they've created an allow list and I'm sorry, Mr. Dodgy Company, you're not on that allow list. So it protects you from all those things that are happening. So why do we want to protect ourselves? Well, it's not only from the fact that, yes, you're not going to get any effect from the dodgy company using your pixel, in the fact that your clients might start seeing ads from this particular company and, hey, just a goodwill gesture to human nature is let's protect people from bad things. But also, if you've got it a lot, so on this particular account I looked at, it was fine. 95,000 events were happening with the actual correct domain. Underneath it were like those other dodgy ones that I saw, the 9, they were just like 2 events for each. That's not a problem at all because 2 events isn't going to affect 95,000 events in the last 28 days from a pixel point of view. But let's say you're a new business or whatever might be happening. Let's say you've got your legitimate domain is saying 30,000 and the dodgy one is saying 15, 20,000. You're suddenly going to have a problem with the type of traffic that's coming through to your website. What Facebook is feeding into your own pixel isn't good data. So when you're starting to do your retargeting, when you're starting to build audiences, all this sort of thing, you're going to be building it based off very, very bad data. So it's really important that we get that allow list. So I would say, don't rush, don't like suddenly close up shop and rush home to get this done. Wait until you got a bit of time, go in there, listen to this podcast again, and just follow those instructions of how I've set that up to go through and get it all sorted. I hope that helps. little DIY techie thing, but it's really not hard, and it's going to protect you and help your advertising going forward. And I will see you now on the next one. Take care. Bye.